me for actual damages.
Mm.
Beyond, up and above that $1,000. So we give a free tutorial, which you've seen, I'm sure, for the members or the non-members to go make themselves a quick $1,000 just using the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Wow.
Just by pulling up their credit. Because what a lot of people don't know is just because my credit report's there through the big three here in the United States, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, are the three credit reporting agency, what I call the slave masters, right? They keep you there.
Mm.
Those three allow people to come in and take a look or a peek inside your credit. And there's two forms, what they call a hard pull and a soft pull. And allegedly, and I say this allegedly, the soft pull, which means I'm just peeking, I'm just looking, I'm not really taking anything, meaning I'm not going to pull your credit. I'm not going to call them and say, hey, listen, send me a copy of this, right? Is not supposed to affect your credit score.
Right.
Well, I have a philosophy. If you were in there at all, I'm going to sue you for $1,000 for every time you peeked and for every report you peeked. Now, why? You can come back and argue, you know what? I have the right to be there. I was just looking. It didn't affect you. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And spend $5,000 doing it.
Mm.
Or you can say, you know, Ben, I know I had the right to be in there, even though they don't. I had the right to be in there, and here's $1,000, go away.
Mm.
And that's what a lot of our members are doing. A lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Our biggest success to date is a $538,000 judgment against Bank of America out of Texas about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
For a mortgage and a free and clear home to boot.
Ka.
So there's a lot of damage that can be done. And the goal with the site was, I've seen the reverse, meaning, and you'll agree with me, you've studied up on a lot of this stuff and a lot of different people. We're the only site on the entire web that pays our members back. We actually give you, it's an investment. You have to look at the $99, all of $99 to join as an investment. Because I'm going to show you how to turn that $99 into thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Right.
That make sense?
Yeah, complete sense. Perfect sense.
So those people that are out there going, oh, I'm not going to spend $99 for that. Well, fine. Go ahead and starve like the rest of America. They just hit the 50 million mark 2 weeks ago in America for the poverty or below line. Go join them. Make it 50 million and one. The way I look at it is, personally, Ben, in the last 2 weeks, I've just made $10,000. 2 weeks, $10,000.
Wow.
I average, yeah.
By claiming from by putting in a claim to banks or
You got it.
right.
Without a doubt, by the end of this year, I will have made close to $200,000 this year. By holding them accountable for their actions. Because it's got nothing to do with the debt. That's the moral fiber. Well, you know, I got a loan. Well, you know, I used the credit card. Well, you know, that has nothing to do with it. If I owe Ben Lowry $1,000 and Ben calls me nicely, hey, Jesse, when do you think you can start paying me that back? You know, I'm starting to hurt over here myself. I need a little money. Can you help me out, man? And I tell you, you know, Ben, I'm trying my hardest. I can send you $10 or $20 or whatever till I get back on my feet. And Ben says, you know, Jess, that sounds good to me. Just send something. Kind of show some goodwill, right? That's a different story.
Yeah.
But if Ben calls me and says, Jesse, I'm going to break your dang legs. I'm going to show up at your house Saturday if you don't have that $1,000. And if you don't have that $1,000, I'm going to put a bullet in your kneecap. Do you have the right to do that?
No.
See, it has nothing to do with the $1,000 now. It has to do with your behavior.
Yeah.
I need to put a dunce cap on you and send you to the corner.
Yeah.
You see, except my corner costs you $1,000 a whack.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben. So now you owe me $1,000. I owe you $1,000. Remember what I said earlier? How do you want to handle it?
We owe each other 1,000. Did you say?
Yeah. See, you broke the law by threatening to shoot me in the kneecap.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Over the $1,000. Well, that was a $1,000 violation. How do you want to handle it now, Ben?
Right. We'll call it quits.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, lick your wounds and have a good day, Ben.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Jesse. Usually, when the bank or the lawyer or the debt collector, whatever the case is, when they realise that you might sue them, do they usually settle without you needing to start a lawsuit?
Here is the percentages: 33, 33, 33.
Ah.
33% settle without ever actual filing the lawsuit, meaning we have a system that we draft our complaints, we got an intent to sue letter, we put it all together, we give them a time frame and say, okay, listen, save yourself time and effort. Here's your opportunity. You got 10 days, 15 days. That's all discretionary up and into the member. The member can say 5 days, 30 days, but you got to be reasonable. You know, if they don't respond, then we actually file a lawsuit and serve it to them.
Right.
So we have 33% at the first, 33% at that second,
Yeah.
and then 33% that settle after you go to your first meeting, which is the standard meeting. Hey, when for deadlines and da 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 da.
Ah.
And they say, okay, how do you want to handle it? See, and that might take you 4 or 5 months, 6 months on the larger ones.
Right.
Right? I've had ones that I've settled without ever filing, without even sending them a complaint, without an agreement. I got a check overnighted from Nation Star Mortgage for $3,500. The guy's name's AJ. He's a super nice guy. I called him up. I sent him a letter with my email. He emailed me, said, call me. Of course, he didn't want to call me again because the entire complaint was for what? Violations of the Telephone Communication Practices Act. He did not want to call me anymore. And he knew that the only phones I have are cell phones. Do not call me. So the guy emailed me and said, you call me and we'll get this squared away. And I swear to you, I called that guy at 9 in the morning. And by 3 in the afternoon, we were done. The next day, I had a check.
Wow.
And that was just not too long ago. We joked because I did a little fishing trip with my wife for about 7 days up to the Ozarks, and he paid for it. And then now I just got back from out of the country, and U.S. Bank paid for it. So I have these nice vacations all on the debt collector's back, you know. So
It seems to me, Jesse, that, a lot of people, because people don't know how to do this, everyone's upset and angry at the banks, and we know that they're bullying us and all that. But if only people knew how to do what you're teaching, then we could actually penalize them for what they're doing wrong, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of slapping them in the wrist and saying, hey, give me a check. You're acting like a little baby.
Mm.
That's all it is. And
Yeah.
I'm going to read you something. I have a little guide that we give for free. It's called Frequently Violated FDCPA Guidelines.
Hmm.
And we give this to anybody, member, non-member. But see, I even have it on my desk here. I tell everybody, once you become a member, go ahead and print it out and keep it at your desk or at your kitchen table, wherever you do your business, right? And the basic definitions. And my favorite definition is 1692A6, which is definition of a debt collector as collectors, collection agencies, lawyers, and form writers. So I like the collection agencies and lawyers because the two fall hand in hand. I'm not very fond of attorneys at all, and I'll give you a good reason. If and when Ben decides to go hire an attorney for FDCPA violation, the first thing the attorney is doing, which he's not telling you, is costing you $1,000 or $2,000, depending on what state you live. Why is that? Because he's not going to sue the other attorney. He's only going to sue the collection firm. So if the attorney owns the collection firm, I'm going to sue both of you. The attorney as an individual and your firm as the debt collection agency.
I see.
You follow? So you're both two separate entities. Well, see, he's prejudicing you because he's not telling you, oh, sue the attorney. Because, they're chums. They all belong to the same national organization. I personally do not believe in using attorneys unless you're an absolute brick and you can't understand a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? There is a part and point, like after this audit, that it's going to get into some complex litigation. Very complex. I'm telling my friend, because I love my friend and I don't want to see any harm on anybody, hey, let's go meet with this other attorney who's a good friend of mine who I know for a fact will sue other attorneys because I've made 28, 30 grand this year from attorneys. Okay? He has no issue suing attorneys.